This is lesson 1-5, part 1. In this lesson, we're going to work on solving inequalities and graphing them. So we have this statement, 5 fewer than a number is at least 12. We want to rewrite that as an inequality. So first thing I notice here is that I'm going to need a variable for this word number, 5 fewer than a number. Let's call this n. And then if we want 5 fewer than, that means we're going to start with n and we're going to take away 5. So n minus 5 would be 5 fewer than n. Is at least 12. So n minus 5 is at least 12, which means it's 12 or greater, so it's going to go like this. In example B, the quotient, that means division, of a number, let's call that n, and 3 is no more than, so that's going to be an inequality again, 15. So we have a quotient of n and 3, so this division, n divided by 3, is no more than 15. So the maximum it can be is 15, but it could be less. So it's going to look like that. So now we're going to solve an inequality and graph it. I'm going to do example A. You can do example B on your own. So first thing we'll do is distribute the -3. So that gives us -6x plus 15 plus 1 is greater than or equal to 4. Combining the 5 and the 1, we get -6x plus 6 is greater than or equal to 4. Now we'll want to subtract 6 on each side because we're trying to isolate the variable. That gives us -6x is greater than or equal to -2. Then we can divide both sides by -6 because we're trying to isolate the variable x. So we have isolated the variable x, but one thing you have to remember is when you divide or multiply by a negative, you have to flip your sign. There's your sign. It has to be flipped. So instead of greater than, it's going to turn into less than. And two negatives make a positive, so 2, 6 reduces to positive 1/3 there. Now to graph it, we go on the number line to approximately where 1/3 would be, right about there. Since there's an equal sign under here, we color in the circle. If there was not an equal under it, you'd leave the circle open. And then x is less than that, so we shade everything less than the circle. Okay, you can try example B. Press pause while you try example B and then press play and see if you get the right answer. And I got x is less than or equal to -8, so that's a closed circle shaded to the left. Okay, and this is where these types of problems could be used in real life. So a movie rental company offers 2 subscription plans. You can pay $36 a month and rent as many movies as you desire. Or you can pay $15 a month and pay an additional $150 to rent each movie. How many movies must you rent in a month for the first plan to cost less than the second plan? So we want, this will be our first plan over here, second plan over here. We want the first plan to cost less. And we're paying $36 a month, so let's just $36. That's what we pay. In the second plan, you pay $15 a month, but then you also have to still pay $1.50 per movie. So there's our equation, which we can then solve. First, we subtract 15 on each side. Then we divide by 1.5 on each side. And that gives us 14 is less than m. So if we rent more than 14 movies, then we're saving money with the second plan.